Yes, we are back again in Train Sim World 4, where we're going to be talking about Train Sim World 5, as well as doing something on the Great Western Express. That's the plan. If you're watching this on the YouTubes, yes, I've already put a video out going through the things that are coming with Train Sim World 5. I don't know how long ago that was, if you've seen it or not, but that went out earlier today in reality. So I'm going to talk about it again. And probably a couple of times and throughout this whole video. If you don't want to hear about it, go and watch something else. There'll be links in the description below to where you can get Train Sim World 4. There'll be a link in the description below to where you can pre-order Train Sim World 5. A link down there to the Twitch page where you can watch me live on the Twitchy. And a link down there to the Discord type server thing as well. Good evening to Trent, Ethan, and Nico. Going to get myself set up in a train. And then we'll talk about Train Sim World 5 and run through the information before Ethan spoils it all. Right, let's go into Great Western Express. We'll go timetable. We'll go 2016. We'll go high-speed train. There is a Sims and Stuff livery, so we'll do that. And we'll start at the Paddingtons. Today, that'll do. Oh, is it you that said my video is a lot better than the Dovetail one? Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's a thing. Thanks, Dovetail. Right. Can you leave me to find that out, Ethan? Thank you. Right. Let's... go with that. That into forward. God, I'd switch for so many different trains. I'm going to clear what's going on. Wipers, headlights. There you go. I knew they were over here somewhere. Look, new livery. What do you think of that one then? We like that. Oh, we got a pair. Hang on. Why have you put me? Okay. Right, there we go. So yes, another new livery done by that there Harry. Looking rather good. Right, we will sit here and idle because that's quite a good noise in the background, and hopefully this works. Dink, there we go. Right, going to run through the slides thing, the video thing that I did earlier. We'll do it quickly because we'll do it quickly. So, Train Sim World 5 standard version comes out on the 17th of September. You can upgrade free, if you claim it by the 17th of October, you get to keep it. It's the core base game with no maps and some of the new core features. So people can't complain, hopefully, that it's too expensive, blah blah blah. Claim it within the first 30 days. Doesn't cost you a thing. We like that. That's good. That made a noise. Right, so features coming then. So live map 2.0. Yeah, conductor mode is going to be interesting. Check tickets, remove luggage from the gangways. So a bit of an improvement on the conductor mode. We've seen before. Fast travel. Well, we can sort of do that anyway with stations, but I'm guessing you can now do it with trains. I don't know. Route hopping. Now, this is the one we're going to be talking about a bit in detail throughout this, because after a couple of hours of discussion last night, there's a lot of connected routes. Yeah. So, route hopping. Seamlessly move between routes with connected stations. It's not seamless. Well, it's sort of seamless. Because there's a slight loading screen and a bit of a pop-up menu that comes up, but you haven't got to go back to the main menu to do it. So that's going to be interesting. Photo mode, yeah, improvements in there. Digital display, yeah. Shadow rendering, okay. New training center. And the free starter pack. Players will be able to upgrade to Train Sim World 5 and get into the latest version for free. No routes and limited access to core features. Redeemable for up to 30 days after launch. Free to keep forever. That's going to be good. Okay. Standard edition. So $39.99 for standard edition. Comes with a training center, San Bernardino line, West Coast main line, and Frankfurt to Fulda. Okay. Deluxe edition. Training center, San Bernardino line, West Coast main line, Frankfurt to Fulda, the Pendolino. Yeah, thank you, Amy Lou. I've turned off that for this particular bit, but thank you indeed. 5 months. The Vectron Flix train and the Cajun Pass. Then there's a special edition version. So if you haven't had any Train Sim World game before, then this is the one to get. It looks expensive, but look at what you get. Training Center, San Bernardino, West Coast Mainline, Frankfurt Fulda, the Pendolino, the Vectron, the Cajun Pass, Castle to Würzburg, London Underground Bakerloo line, New York to Trenton, the Suffragette line, London Overground, and the other one that I can't quite read, Bahnstrecke to something, Oldenburg. No, it's not, Connor. Releases on September the 17th for the standard version, 5 days earlier for the deluxe version. Okay, so first line. Los Angeles to San Bernardino. Have a look at that. I can't quite read it because it's on the screen up there. But comes 57 miles, 16 train stations. The good thing about this, we're going to talk about earlier, the thing about the connecting stations, San Bernardino links up to other lines. So that's going to be really, really interesting. Long routes. Next one is Frankfurt to Fulda. 64 miles, 24 train stations, including the Ice Baby train. That's quite good. If you get the deluxe edition, you get the Flix train Vectron as well, which you can use on this. That also connects to other lines. Spent a bit of time last night looking at all the routes and where they connected. If you got a deluxe version, then you get this, the Flix train Vectron, which is quite good. So operating passenger services. So rather nice. We like that. The UK one, London to Milton Keynes. I am really looking forward to this one. So, Class 350, you get, so London Euston to Milton Keynes. If you got the deluxe edition, you get the 390, the Pendolino, which you'll see in a second. If you've already got the 710, there's a layer in there for the 710 as well, and you get the Line S line, which is part of that. So London Overground stuff, and you've got 377 stuff. Well, that's the bit that got me excited last night, was the Bakerloo thing. If they're allowing you to change at stations, does that mean you can come from Milton Keynes to Queen's Park, get on the Bakerloo line, take that to Paddington, and from Paddington go to Reading? So does that mean we can do Milton Keynes to Reading? That's going to be a topic of discussion. So you get the Vanity West Coast Pendolino with the deluxe version. So that's quite good. We like that. And so the roadmap then. West Coast Main Line, Frankfurt to Fulda, San Bernardino, the Vectron, Vanity West Coast, and MBTA commuter coming within the next 3 months. Long term then, Preston to Carlisle, which we're going to get more information on soon. Cardiff City Network, Tadami Line, another new route from Alan Thompson. The 104 that we sort of knew about anyway. East Coast Main Line Diesel Pack. and the Great Western Express Remaster, as well as we got the 5 Circle, 11 Branch, and some stuff coming there. And then the information then. So there's early access and discounts. Deluxe and special editions will provide 5 days early access on September the 12th. The standard edition will be available on Game Pass from release. Pre-order or loyalty discounts are available. So future Train Sim World 5 content is MBTA commuter, Boston to Framingham, West Coast Main Line, Preston to Carlisle, Zwolle to Groningen, that place, Cardiff City, Mannheim to Karlsruhe, and the Great Western Express Remastered, which is free if you've already got the standard Great Western Express. And there we go, back to the start again. So there we go, in a nutshell, as it were. So I am really looking forward to this. The route swapping thing, I've found a bit of detail on it today, as it does open a little bit of a menu for you to access to be able to swap routes. But yeah, was going through it last night with Harry, and looking at all the German routes that connect, looking at the American one that connects. So the San Bernardino, I think, connects to Antelope Valley and another one. So potentially you can do all of Antelope Valley, then jump on the San Bernardino, which takes you to LA, and then there's the other route that comes out of LA, which roughly 4.5 hours, potentially. Obviously, we knew about London to Brighton, that potentially we can then go to London, go from London to Brighton, get on the East Coastway, and then switch to that. So that's going to be interesting. So it's not about the routes for me this time, it's about these other features. The conductor mode, I think, is going to add some interest. I think that London to Milton Keynes route is going to be really good. And yes, like every other version of Train Sim World, if you've got DLCs from the older versions, if you buy the new version, they will carry on across. Is that the only thing you'll lose is any experience points, etc. I do like this livery. It is rather sleek. Progress won't transfer over, from what I'm hearing. But yeah, I think the consensus is it's good. I only found the information out last Thursday, and was like, So it's going to be really good. I think the German route's going to be interesting because you've got the high-speed aspect to it. The American route with that route swapping thing is going to be rather interesting now. The Euston one, the fact that you can go, so class 350, say up to Milton Keynes, bring the 390 back, then you can do the 110 if you've got it. The 110, the 710, the Thameslink, if you've got it, going up, then come back in the overground. So backwards and forwards on different types of trains. You're going to then see the Bakerloo line stuff running right next to the main line. So that's going to be a really busy route. Is that going to then end up being busier than London to Brighton? I think it could be. And no, you haven't got to buy everything again. That's the advantage. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So, well, yeah, if you've still got Train Sim World 4, it will still work. Train Sim World 4 won't stop working. If you've got Train Sim World 3, you can still play it. So you haven't got to upgrade. It's not a mandatory thing, but the fact that you can do it for free, you may as well. Why would you not? All your routes will transfer over, so you may as well upgrade Train Sim World 5, because it doesn't cost you anything if you do it in the first 30 days. So it's a no-brainer. It does stop people going, it's just dovetail money grabbing. No, because they're letting you upgrade for nothing. If you want the routes, then yes, you pay for them. If you want the trains, then yes, you get the deluxe version, which I will be. Say the conductor mode, you know, if you want to drive a train up and down a line a few times, and you'll just go, actually, you know what, I'll let someone else do the driving. I'll go into conductor mode, clear some luggage out the way, check some tickets, and harass passengers. So yeah, we've got Frankfurt to Fulda is one route. Los Angeles to San Bernardino is the other route. And Houston to Milton Keynes is the other route. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Look at me getting all flash with the overlays. This level of professionalism have never been seen before, not since that video I did on the bus. So yeah, I'm just trundling between Reading and the Paddingtons in this. So yeah, the thing that got the excitement yesterday was these connected stations. There's a couple in Germany that are connected, and it was the San Bernardino. I'm sure it's Antelope Valley that goes from San Bernardino to where the antelopes roam, and then this one links San Bernardino to Los Angeles, and I can't remember which one it is. It's one of the other ones that comes out of Los Angeles. So technically you can do 3 routes without going back to the main menu. That's a lot of time. And because that the Antelope Valley one was about 2.25 hours, then that's a lot of time. Well, yeah, I almost think, Dorset, that I think there's going to be some connections going on, because if this works with these connecting stations, and I think even in Germany they've put a lot of effort into connecting some of the German stations up as well, because that's a thing. Yeah, Antelope Valley is Los Angeles to Lancaster. Cajun Pass comes out of San Bernardino. Yes, you can go from Lancaster to Los Angeles to San Bernardino, and then San Bernardino to where the Cajuns come from. No, this one, yeah. So yeah, so this new one links Los Angeles to San Bernardino. But yeah, you know, I don't know anything about this. This is just pure speculation on my part. But I wonder if someone now will do the next bit of the West Coast Main Line as a route. So what's the distance from Milton Keynes to Birmingham? Would that be a thing? Or could you go up, you know, does the West Coast Main Line link with the East Coast Main Line? So yeah, Milton Keynes to Preston. What's that time-wise? Could we then do Preston to Carlisle that we're getting anyway? Although that's going to be set in the similar era to Blackpool. So that's going to be pre-1990. The Preston to Carlisle. So not in the same era. And I'm wondering if Great Western Express Remastered, that we're also going to get at some point, is then going to be in the current era with the 800s. And whether that's going to be a future expansion from Reading. I wonder if we're ever going to get Reading to Bristol. Yeah, well, didn't quite get to that last night. Was where does the Blackpool route stop? There is a map, it's out of date, that someone's done on Google Maps that shows where all the Train Sim World routes go. That's the bit to look at to see where they connect. You know, we're thinking that shame London Underground, London Overground, the overground line we've currently got doesn't quite connect to anything, or the fact that we can't connect to King's Cross. Well, no, remaster Great Western Express is going to go. It's going to be the same route. I think it's just going to be up to date. So I think it's just going to be a modern version. I think Reading to Bristol's pretty much the next step, isn't it? Personally, London Underground and Pacer. I've done the Pacer on the London Underground. So yeah, my initial excitement for the routes, and there is excitement on the routes. You know, I'm going to be spending a lot of time going between London and Milton Keynes. I think it's this route hopping thing that's going to be the more interesting thing. Milton Keynes to Birmingham is 1 hour and 24 minutes. Yeah, so that fits perfectly, doesn't it? So, you know, is someone going to do Milton Keynes to Birmingham? It'd be good. I think at some point we've got to get an extension to the Great Western. Well, yeah. Well, that's going to be a thing at the moment. You could do London to Brighton, and then swap and do the East Coast Way. I said the swapping thing I saw a little bit of this afternoon is there is a slight loading screen. There's a pop-up menu that lets you choose which route you're swapping to, and then a little bit of a loading screen, and then you swap. So it's got to load in the other route, basically. So it's not seamless. It's not that you can get off your train at Brighton, go to another platform, get on a train that's on the East Coast Way, and off you go. So it's not completely seamless, but a lot better than going back to the main menu, going to a different route, choosing it. We are going to see Bakerloo line trains running alongside the West Coast Main Line. Well, that's the bit that we said earlier. I don't know if you were here, Dorset. The route swapping potentially is, what if you could do Milton Keynes to, say, Queen's Park, get off, get on the Bakerloo line, take the Bakerloo line train to Paddington, and if they've done the connection at Paddington, then get a train from Paddington to Reading. So you could then do Milton Keynes to Reading. If you can get on and off the Bakerloo line at some of these stations, I think it's going to be really interesting. The early release is the if you've got the deluxe edition, you get 5 days early access. So that'll be the 12th of September. Coincidentally, I've got a weekend off work, including the 13th of September. I think I know what I'll be doing that weekend. Sounds like a day out for Ethan. Do it in Train Sim World, then do it in real life. Yes, if you have just joined, we are talking about Train Sim World 5. I'll give you a quick little overview of the 3 routes that are coming. Do it in this order. No, that order, this order. Which one did I do it in? Think. There we go. So the big one for me is London Euston to Milton Keynes. Then we've got Los Angeles to San Bernardino. Then we've got Frankfurt to Fulda. So that's the 3 big routes. So yeah, I am really looking forward to it. I think the Germany route's going to be interesting. I'm not a fan of the American routes, but the fact that it links Los Angeles to San Bernardino, I think that's going to be a bit of a trek there. Well, I'm almost looking for a reason to uninstall Train Sim Classic. I think the fact that we're getting not only these routes, but there's more stuff coming as well as the existing stuff that I haven't really explored fully. Yeah, I think it's going to be good by Train Sim Classic. Well, the fact that within the next 12 months, what did it say? Cardiff City is going to be something. Yeah, Cardiff City Network. Well, it depends on how much of it there is. For me, because I love the line, I hope we do Cardiff Bay. Can you get the Flix Train as add-on for Train Sim World 5? If you get the deluxe version, you will get the Vectron Flix Train. I can imagine that they'll do a similar thing to as they did with the Flying Scotsman with Train Sim World 4, that give it a month or so and you'll be able to get them as a DLC. Will Greg's be modelled? I think I could do with that currently. Cardiff Bay for a sandwich. So yeah, so even if you don't get the deluxe version, then you should be able to, I can't guarantee, you should be able to then get it eventually as a DLC. The Flix Train one looks really good. When we get to Reading, for those that weren't here at the beginning, we'll quickly run through the slides again. Apologies for those that were here. I've got a little YouTube video out on the YouTubes running through everything and talking about it that went out this afternoon. So give that a look. It's slightly less rushed. But yeah, I am really looking forward to it. Right, I have got some information that I will share in the Discord after the stream, if I can. I need to read it all. That goes through some facts. So they've already, Dovetail have already been getting a lot of questions. So they've already done some facts to answer those questions. So keep your eye on the Discord server. I'll post that if I can after the stream to hopefully answer questions that people have got. Hi Harry. There is a link, by the way, if you're going to be playing on Steam, ! TSW4 will take you to the Steam page where pre-ordering should be available today. I don't know what kind of discounts there are. That's a tough one, actually, Nico. %10 discount. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, I would actually recommend the standard edition, as odd as it sounds, because I think for the West Coast main line, having the Pendolino as something to maybe look forward to as an extra DLC down the line is probably good enough, because there's enough to do there with the 350, the overground, and the 710 if you've got it. The The Flixbus train, the Flix train, as good as it looks, I'm not a fan of the Vectron. And yeah, that's it. So I would actually recommend, in this instance, going for the standard version and then waiting for the DLC should it come for the 390. I will be getting the deluxe edition so I can showcase it. So when we get to Reading in a minute, I'll run through the slides again. So if you have just joined, I will run through again when we get to Reading all the info for Train Sim World 5 before we make the return journey, probably in a 166. That does look good. He's not as stupid as it looks. If you're a hardened Train Sim World fanatic and you're likely to use the Vectron, then yeah, go for a deluxe edition if you can justify it to yourself. But don't forget, you can upgrade for free. You don't get any routes and you only get some of the core features, but it's a worthwhile free upgrade if you've got Train Sim World 4. And then you'll be able to add the routes in as DLCs, I'm guessing. Well, there we go. The actual routes on Google Maps, I'm guessing, which is what we were looking at last night, has been linked in a Discord server. And don't forget, free on Game Pass for the standard edition. So if you're not sure about Train Sim World, look it on Game Pass. Someone's done an actual Google Maps showing where the Train Sim World maps routes go. Which is what I was looking at last night, seeing where the connections were and getting really excited zooming into London. Right, 3.1 miles into Reading, and then we'll go through the slides again. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully it releases on the 12th for the deluxe edition of September. Hopefully I can bring it to you on the 11th is my hope, with either some pre-recorded content coming out on that day, or there'll certainly be a stream on that day. So that's going to be the 13th is Friday, the 12th is a Thursday, so that'll be the Wednesday. I've got to be honest, when this released, I was disappointed. Mainly because of the East Coast Main Line, which I still think is the most boring route on Train Sim World. It's even more boring than Edinburgh to Glasgow, and that's boring. So I was disappointed at the fact that East Coast Main Line was, to me, the wrong bit. Not a fan of Steam, so the Flying Scotsman has never really done it for me. Didn't like Antelope Valley, and the German one that crosses into the Austrian border was a bit meh. Did it once, didn't bother again. So I said at the time that Train Sim World 4 was almost like Train Sim World 3.5. We may not be stopping at Reading. Right, we'll run through it all again in a second. We'll get ourselves set up for the return. Oh, that was fine. didn't quite stop. We just about kept going. So what's everyone's thoughts then on what they've seen and heard so far? Are we excited? Who's going to be getting it? Has anyone already pre-ordered it? That'd show keenness. We'll run through the packages. Again in a second when we do the return run. No, you don't, McBone. I can guarantee you that. Right, we shall unload. And then we'll get ourselves set up for the return in a 166. And while we're sat idling at the station, we'll go through the information again. That's it. No, just kick me out. It's fine. See if I care. Jump straight in my seat, didn't he? It's like, you, out. Tomorrow night, by the way, back with... what are we doing tomorrow? Oh, Roblox. Doing trains things. In Roblox, doing, trains. So that's going to be tomorrow. Hang on, we want to go the way around. We want to go... No, that's Reading to London Paddington. That'll do. It's like Ethan. It is. Just slightly less annoying. Just look on the... No, right. I'm going to run through them again. Let me get this set up. Headlights. That's many of those. We got a window in this thing? No. Right. Okay then. We'll run through the information again. If I do my thing, that one, that, but... Oh, don't tell me my string deck's died. Come on. Really? Bear with me, caller. It's done this a lot recently. There we go. Right. Blimey. Nice technology fade. Right, so Train Sim World 5 comes out on September the 17th. You can upgrade for free as long as you claim before October the 17th. So Xboxy people, PlayStation people and Steamy people, you can upgrade for free. It doesn't include any routes if you upgrade and some of the core features. Okay? That's done a pingy thing again. Right, so details of Train Sim World 5, Live Map 2.0, more user-friendly UI, new icons and train service information. Haven't seen any previews on that yet. Conductor mode, check tickets, remove luggage from the gangways and experience Train Sim World in an all-new way. Well, apart from the bit we've experienced it in already. Fast travel, immediately travel within a route. Route hopping, this is the one. We got slightly excited last night trying to find connected stations. Seamless movement between routes with connected stations. The first one that sprung to mind was Brighton, because you've got London Commuter that comes into Brighton, and an East Coastway that goes out of Brighton. You've also got Edinburgh, where a couple of routes come in and go out. But there's more. There's a couple in America. There's some in Germany. A few in Germany that are connected. So that's going to be really interesting. The key one, as you mentioned earlier, is, well, we'll come to the routes in a second, then we'll talk about that. Digital display updates, photo mode updating, track shadow rendering improvements, training center improvements. So players will be able to upgrade to Train Sim World 5 and get onto the latest version for free. No routes and limited access to core features, redeemable for up to 30 days after launch, free to keep forever. So, the versions. The standard edition includes the training centre, San Bernardino, West Coast Main Line, and Frankfurt to Fulda. If you're not interested in multiple trains on multiple routes, that's the one to go for. Okay, so you get the 3 new lines. $39.99, or other currencies are available. The deluxe edition. Training Centre, San Bernardino, West Coast Main Line, Frankfurt to Fulda, the Avanti West Coast Pendolino, the Flixtrain BR193 Vectron only comes with the deluxe edition, and then Cajun Pass, $59.99. So for 20 quid, you're getting Cajun Pass, if you don't already have it, the BR193 and the Pendolino. Okay. The special edition. This is only if you don't own any Train Sim World games, or you own Train Sim World but don't have any of the routes that are included in this. Then it could be advantageous. So the training centre, San Bernardino, West Coast Main Line, Frankfurt Fulda, the Pendolino, the Vectron, Cajun Pass, Kassel to Würzburg, the Bakerloo line, New York to Trenton, the Suffragette line, and Bremen to Oldenburg. That's only worth doing if you don't own anything, or you don't have any of those routes. Then it's a good value upgrade. First line then that you get, Los Angeles to San Bernardino, 57 miles, 16 train stations. The deluxe edition players will be able to use BNSF freight layers that come with a Cajun Pass. So that's something extra if you've got that. But the fact that we said, because this route linking thing, that links 2 other routes together. So Los Angeles, San Bernardino. So you could do a long route in America. No, there's not like a season pass thing, Connor. The next route is Frankfurt to Fulda. So 64 miles, 24 train stations. If you've got a deluxe edition, you get the Flixtrain Vectron, which looks really nice actually. So that's a combination of high-speed stuff plus sort of small commutery stuff. I think that's going to be quite an interesting route. I'm actually looking forward to that one. That's the Flixtrain then, the Vectron that you get with the deluxe edition. So it's a new operator for Dovetail. As much as green's a strange colour, that actually does look nice in green. So that's good. London Euston to Milton Keynes. This is the one I've been waiting for. 50 miles, 26 train stations. You get the Class 350, the 377, the 66, and London Overground 1972 stock are all going to be in the route. So you get the 350 you can drive. If you've got a deluxe version, you can use the Pendolino. You get the London Overground line on it. And there's add-ons for the 710. I really can't read that. If you've already got the 710. So that's going to be an interesting route. And a really busy route coming out of Euston. So that's going to be good. If you want to get the deluxe version, that's what you get with it as well. The Avanti West Coast Pendolino. in 9 and 11 car versions. There's the roadmap of what's coming. So in the next 3 months, we've got West Coast Mainline, Frankfurt Fulda, San Bernardino, Flixtrain Vectron, Avanti West Coast, and MBTA Commuter in the next 3 months. Longer term to be confirmed, West Coast Mainline Preston to Carlisle, Cardiff City Network, Tadami Line, a new route from Malin Thompson, Zwolle to Groningen, that place, the 104 on Peak Forest expansion, a new loco, East Coast Mainline Diesel Pack, Santa Fe Gameplay Pack, Great Western Express Remastered, PC Editor improvements, Cologne to Aachen timetable update, and 5 Circle 11 branch. Yeah, because I can't pronounce the first German one. And you've been here. It's up on my TV. Right at the top. I can't see that. I'm having to look at the Streamlabs thing. I can't read it. So that's the roadmap. Early access and discounts, as we just said, 10% discount currently on standard edition. If you get deluxe edition and special edition, that'll be 5 days earlier. So you can access it on the 12th of September. The standard edition's available on Games Pass, or Game Pass even. And future Train Sim World 5 route content is MBTA Commuter Boston to Framingham, West Coast Mainline Preston to Carlisle, Zwolle to the place I can't pronounce, Cardiff City Network, Mannheim to Kaiserslautern, and Great Western Express Remastered. Available free for players on Train Sim World 5 with the original Great Western Express add-on. So yes, there we go. Some really, really good stuff. I don't like being this professional. I'm not used to this. Right, can we move now? Right, let's make our way to Twyford. So I'll be able to bring you more details as I know them. Yeah, so pre-order is out and is worthwhile doing. And yeah, hopefully be able to start showing you content the day before release, which is an interesting situation that I'm in currently. I've got Train Sim World 4 content going out on YouTube up until the 2nd of September. I've got to make sure that no Train Sim World 4 content goes out after Train Sim World 5 is released. So it's either I stop doing Train Sim World 4 content for the next couple of weeks, or you're going to see more Train Sim World 4 content on YouTube. As if there isn't enough already. Tomorrow night, more trains in the form of Roblox. By the way, speaking of Roblox, I'll share some information in the Discord. There's a Roblox game coming. Train Sim World Tycoon. I haven't really got much information on it, but it's a Roblox game that's being released. I don't know when. But yeah, Train Sim World Tycoon. There's a VR version of one of the New York lines coming if you've got one of the VR headset-y type things, and there's an update to the tram thing. The Train Sim World Tycoon, I think it's going to be really cool because it's multiplayer. So we will sort of have a Train Sim World multiplayer. I could do one of those like clickbaity videos and put Train Sim World multiplayer. In fact, it's Train Sim World Tycoon. But you know. And of course, we will be doing that in multiplayer. I can't use VR. A, my eyes are broken. And I've got reduced vision in my right eye, so they don't work anyway. And B, I can't really do VR because of the streaming setup. Because I have to be able to see the other screens that are around me for the stream. So I can't stream it, and they don't work. 3D glasses don't work on me. The bot working rather well there. So yeah, really looking forward to Train Sim World 5. It's going to be rather good. Exactly. Yeah, it don't work for me. I should wear glasses. But yeah, I think the Euston to Milton Keynes, initially I was a bit, oh, it's only as far as Milton Keynes. But then when you look at the layers of it and the amount of stuff that's going to be going up and down that line, I think that's going to be rather interesting. I think that's going to be a busy line. And, you know, if we get a Great Western Express remastered, does that mean we're going to see more stuff on this line? That's going to be quite cool. So, yeah, a lot of stuff to come in the next 12 months. I need to actually look and see how many... Hang on. Is someone... Okay. Is a task then. How many DLCs have we had for Train Sim World 4? So far. There's one for someone to check. Because if we're going to get the same amount, we'll know roughly what we're going to be getting in Train Sim... Well, no, that's not Train Sim World 4, is it, you clown? That's why I said for Train Sim World 4. Not for Train Sim World. 12 you want to say. Is it 12? If anybody would like to replace any of my moderators as moderators, apart from Trent, then please let me know. Right, we're coming into Twyford. We like Trent. Actually, Harry was a great help last night. Don't tell him that. You counted 27. What, since... So, for train... So, since September the whatever case last year? 16. Okay, so we've got 12, 27 and 16. Someone's right. And someone's wrong. It's going well, isn't it? Right, if there's anybody watching with a brain, can you have a look and see how many DLCs there have been for Train Sim World 4, please? Oh, Trent is a sensible one. Trent's the funny one and the sensible one. Who knew? Right, we have arrived at Twyford. Nobody watching has a brain, that's why you're watching. That's a fair point, in all fairness. So yeah, so Roblox tomorrow night, which is going to look nothing like this. That's a camera collision. Oh, let's sort those out. What's tomorrow? Wednesday, isn't it? Thursday night, more farming. Well, hopefully we've got a farm left. Friday night, some trucking in the TS2s, carrying on in the F-Max. Not here on Saturday because I'm off the Isle of Wight. We'll be back on Sunday evening with board games. And then I'll be here on Monday lunchtime with a farming stream. Antelope Valley, that came with it. Class 33 East Coast Main Line, Great Western Express, that came with it. And then okay, that's just a list of things. Okay. It can't be difficult, surely, for some of you to work out how many DLCs there's been for Train Sim World 4. I haven't asked you to send a cat to the moon or anything. I haven't asked you to book a flight to Japan. Right. Well, when you're corroborating a story, you get 3 you could go for 3 sources. When I'm getting quotes at work, I go for 3 suppliers. Well, no, because they came out as DLCs. So we want 3 people to come up with the same answer, and then we'll go with that as the definitive answer. Ask the Amazon device. But I'm not going to ask the Amazon device, am I? Come on, Dorset, you're supposed to be a sensible one around here as well. Right. Well, we know yours is 19. We're waiting for someone else to confirm your answer. Exactly, that's how bad things are, Dorset. I've had a challenging 2 days. Things must be bad when I say Dorset's intelligent. Right, Trent's also saying 19. Okay, if anyone else confirms that it's 19, then we'll go with 19. God, this is hard work. I should have stayed just doing OMSI streams, shouldn't I? Right, 6.3 miles to Maidenhead, making our way back into... Where are we going? I don't even know what day it is. Paddington. What about... How much of the Bakerloo line runs alongside the West Coast Main Line? We could do a bit of Bakerloos. I know we're not going to see anything on this. Queen's Park to Harrow. Harrow? Nope, not going to go there. Harrow's the start, isn't it? Right, has anybody else confirmed 19 yet, by the way? Just so we can have a, you know... Harry can't count to 19. I think Maida Vale's the first in the tunnel. Yeah. You're still getting 27. Okay. Right, so, hang on. Think. Right, which one of those then? Where does that start and finish as far as running alongside the Bakerloo? There's a question. You got 23. Okay, so it's somewhere between 12 and 406 is what we're saying. Four to 13. But I can't read what 4 is. 4's Queen's Park. Could be eyesight ain't as bad as I thought. Okay. So, somewhere around 20 DLCs we've had. God, that was painful, wasn't it? Really? Right, somewhere around 20 DLCs we've had for Train Sim World 4. So we can only assume... and assume makes an ass out of you and me. We can only assume that we're going to get a similar amount of DLCs for Train Sim World 5, which is the point I was getting to. So if it's slightly more than that, that means as an average we could be getting 2 DLCs a month. That's a lot of content on top of the stuff that they've already said is coming. So there are going to be a few surprises. There are. So make sure there's room in your wallets, Ethan. Right, we have 2.2 miles to the Maiden's Head. Making our way back to the Paddingtons. You're funny, Nico. I didn't think you were this fun. I thought Trent was the funny one. We are going to see the bear. Follow the bear. That was Hofmeister, wasn't it? Right, so what we'll do is, shall we jump to the Bakerloo line then and start at Harrow and Willesden and go as far as Queen's Park? And I know in this version there isn't going to be anything running along the main line, but at least we get to see what's running alongside it. Yeah, that's true. Oh, God, brakes. Well, yeah, because Harry can't count. Die, Laxman. So yes, I think Train Sim World 5 is going to be rather good. But you can't count. I think we've proved that. So 3 routes. It's that route hopping thing is the one that's really interesting me. I said stuff I saw today shows a little pop-up and a slight loading screen, but you haven't got to go back to the main menu to swap routes. There'll just be a point and where you can go on the platform or station and swap to the other route that also connects to that station. And if they've done it on the connected stations for, say, the Bakerloo line, and they've done it for Paddington, the bear, I think that's going to be really interesting, because technically then you could go from Milton Keynes down to, well, you'd want to go the last station that links the Bakerloo line to the main line, then switch to the Bakerloo line, take that to Paddington, then switch to Great Western Express and go out to Reading. And then technically you could then turn around and come back and do a different train then up. I almost think, and I'm putting this out there already because I've just had the idea, and that's how these things work in my brain, I think we've almost got another roaming driver situation thing going on here. That we try and get our roaming driver from point A to point B, and you look at that Google Maps map and allow him to get, you know, a taxi between 2 really close stations. So in London there's going to be a bit he can do, and then get out of London down towards Brighton, do the East Coast way, nip over to the Isle of Widget, then a bit of creative license to, you know, go to France. Right, Taplow is next. Tony's going to have fun. How was the worky thing? The worky thing has caused me 2 days of immense stress. Things going on in my personal life that have also caused me 2 days of immense stress. It's not been a great 2 days. I've been looking forward to this stream. Right. Taplow, which is somewhere near Tap High. I need a holiday. Someone at work told me that, said that today. He said, no one's been getting this far on YouTube, are they? I got told today to either have a holiday, get high, I don't do drugs, never have, get drunk, or get laid. That was the 4 options given to me. Yeah, that got held by the bot. Or you could do all four. You could go on holiday, get high, get drunk, and you know, you never know. A holiday ain't gonna happen anytime soon. I don't do drugs. Alcohol would be bad, and the other one I got no chance. So none of those are going to happen. It would be a memorable holiday. I've had holidays in the past where I've been on the holiday, got drunk, and you know, not done drugs. Anyway, back to Train Sim World. So right, we'll get this back to Paddington. We'll jump to the Bakerloo line, and then do the bit from Harrow down to Queen's Park, because that's the bit that runs alongside the West Coast Main Line. That's the bit that we're going to get in Train Sim World 5. No, the Trip Cop thing's on the Train Sim Classic line. The trip to Isle of Wight has a lot of riding on it. Yeah, but the problem is I'm doing the trip to Isle of Wight with 4 idiots. Who, 3 of them arrive at my house at like 9 p.m. on Friday. We've got to leave my house at like 6:30 on Saturday morning. I've then got to spend the day with 4 of them. 3 of them then are coming back here till first thing Monday morning. So it's another weekend where I get to relax at like 7:30 on Bank Holiday Monday morning. But I'm looking forward to the Isle of Wight. Hey, no, farming's on Thursday. Alright, while we unload passengers, I'll quickly run through the routes again in case you have just joined. Oh, that's the wrong mouse. That one. Right, so routes coming with Train Sim World 5. First one is London Euston to Milton Keynes, which goes from London Euston to Milton Keynes. With the Class 350, you get a 377. If you've got, you get the London Overground line, S line. If you get the deluxe edition, you get the 390, and if you've got it already, you get layers to include the 710. So that's going to be interesting. Then there's that one, Los Angeles to San Bernardino. 57 miles of that, 16 train stations, and the deluxe edition players get the BNSF freight layers with the cage on pass. And then you get the German one, Frankfurt to Fulda. 64 miles, 24 train stations. The deluxe edition people get the Flix train Vectron. So that is going to be quite an interesting line, I think. A mixture of high speed and commuter type stuff. So that's that. When we get back to Paddington, I'll run through all the details again for those that maybe weren't here. Let's try closing the doors first. We don't know anything about FS25 yet. They're doing their Fact Sheet Fridays thing. So that's going to be a thing. So yes, we got this in September. We've got Farm Sim 25 in November. If SCS suddenly throws something at us, like, oh, by the way, here's virtual trucking companies, or here's European Coach Simulator, I'll be like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere for the winter. I'll be sat here. No, Forza won't do anything this year because we've already had the disaster that was Motorsport, haven't we? Holy crap. Okay, my Train Sim World 5 videos got as many views in 3 hours as the video that went out yesterday's got. Perhaps I should do more clicky baity stuff like that. Right, 1 mile to Burnham. I could retire. Right, 0.8 of a mile to the Burnhams. And then we'll jump on the Bakerloos. Is this like a metro? Yeah, stopping service. So calls at the intermediate stations between Reading and Paddington. The high-speed stuff goes straight from Paddington to Reading. Well, yeah, there is that, but, you know, he's got his own money. Right, we are arriving at Burnham. Yeah, so a remastered version of Great Western Express is going to be interesting. We've got the 387 already. We've got the 800 already. So it wouldn't take much for them to do an uprated version of Great Western Express. Again, I don't know any details. So whether they'll just do a modern version of it, so you can do the old version or the new version, a bit like we've got with the Isle of Wight thing. But that'll be a free upgrade, so you'll just get a choice of which timetable you want to do, I'm guessing, and it'll load in whichever version. Or would it just be one version and allow you to do the HST? Or would it, or is there a crossover period where there was both running? Was there a period of time when we had 800s, HSTs, 166s and 387s running? Because it wouldn't have been a full introduction, would it? You don't pull every single HST out of service, then replace them instantly on every run with IETs. So maybe there's an option for a crossover period. There's the thing. We are running very late because I've been talking to you lot. I don't really care. Right, locking doors. Right, Slough is next. Yeah, so if I was doing this, I'd do it at a period where it suits everything. So you've got overhead for the IETs and the 387s. You've got diesels running and you've got HSTs running. That would make this quite busy. Because look at it, there's just a severe lack of trains on this route. So yeah, so there was a year, well, 6 months where they were both running. That's what I'd do if I was doing this. I'd have this exact thing, put the overheads in, and just add in the IETs and 387s into the timetable. So replace some of the HST services with IETs, replace some of the 166 services with 387s. Done. Almost look at a timetable from that period of time and swap it out. Did you also notice, by the way, that's a me thing. Clicking on the timetables, there was weekday and weekend services. That got pointed out to me. So I don't know if that's going to be more of a thing. Well, there's no overhead lines in this current version, but there was when the IETs came in. This is a mod I've got in to add in the gantries. Right, 1.2 miles to Slough. So So yeah, I think there's been a lot of interesting little features we're going to find out, hopefully. Yeah, so if you picked the end of 17 or the beginning of 18, and I bet in 18 there was a period where 166s were still running. So I'd go beginning of 2018 for Great Western Express Enhanced. That's what I would do. I should work for Dovetail. Dovetail, employ me. Especially if people have said my video is better than Dovetail's. Right, we are breaking into Slough. So yeah, the conductor mode I think is going to be interesting. I don't think it's something people would use a lot. Like the route we've had in this with the conductor mode in. It's not something that I went, oh yeah, wow. It's something you do once and then that's it. So I don't think it's something you do a lot. Because surely train sim's about driving the train. But I do see the interest point of it. Right, we are arriving in Slough. So yeah, we're going to do this back to Paddington. Then we're going to jump into the Bakerloo line and do the bit that's going to run along there. The bit of the West Coast Main Line. So from Queen's Park. So we'll do that in the Bakerloo line so you can see the bit of track that we're going to be on the Euston to Milton Keynes route for Train Sim World 5. That makes sense? I think it does. I don't like being this professional. Hang on, we need to do something to stop the professionalism. Hang on.
Beedo, beedo, beedo.
There we go, that's better. Something blue. That's got to be a livery. First Great Western livery? That was blue. So is that the era? Yeah, is that the era that it's going to be set in? Actually, I quite like the First Great Western livery. So I reckon that points towards an era.
This is a safety announcement.
Where did that come from? What?
Skateboard or rollerblade within the station building.
I don't know what you mean. Is Nico hearing minions now? I didn't hear anything. Anybody? I didn't hear a thing. Right, West Drayton in 5 miles. When we get to London, we will run through again the information of everything that's coming with Train Sim World 5. Apologies to those that have suffered it twice already. You'll have to suffer it again. Yeah, I quite like the First Great Western livery. So when did First Great... Okay, here's one for you then. You're a train weirdo. When did First Great Western stop? And I'm guessing IETs were never in First Great Western livery. They've always been in Great Western livery. ...2015. Yeah, so that's before... That's interesting then. So First Great Western ended in 2015. The electrification was 2017. The other thing I thought of that someone mentioned Isn't this the route that the sleeper train uses? The Penzance one, on its way back. It comes from Reading to Paddington, doesn't it? I wonder if they put that in. First IET was 2017, yeah. Yeah, they didn't bother respraying them because they knew they were going to be replaced. So I reckon there'll be HSTs in First Great Western livery then. The era will be 2017-ish. So we'll get HSTs running, 166s running. Were these in First Great Western livery? They were, weren't they? So these in First Great Western livery. Then the IETs in Great Western and the 387s in Great Western. So that's a something blue. I reckon we've solved it, you know. 2017. Well, we know that Preston to Carlisle is going to be set pre-1990 when that releases. So that's going to be a similar era to Blackpool. And we're going to get Pacers on it, as well as some freighty stuff. I hear HST. There we go. Has anybody found out if the Preston to Carlisle route touches on anywhere that Blackpool branches does? Is there a crossover? Preston. Oh, so is Blackpool Ormskirk to Preston? Is it Ormskirk? So, a needle pulling thread. Yeah, Preston to Blackpool North and South and Ormskirk. Yeah, so that means then you could do Carlisle to Preston, Preston to Blackpool. That makes that more interesting, doesn't it? We were looking at the German routes last night and some of the connections that they make. And it's almost like they've been planning this for a while because of some of these interconnecting stations. Yeah, we said that. It's set pre-1990, the Preston to Carlisle, so it's going to include Pacers. So that's going to be really interesting. I think the initial release of Train Sim World 5 is going to be good. I'm really looking forward to playing around with some of the features. I'm really looking forward to playing around with the routes. Even the American routes got me slightly intrigued. I think there's going to be a lot of jumping around on some of the streams, looking at these interconnecting stations. I almost think we need to look at doing, and I say we in the royal we, something from my Discord. A list of the stations you can go to that are connected to other stations. So a list of where routes meet. Oh no, it won't be a route of stream anymore. It'll be like in and out of Brighton, or in and out of San Bernardino, or in and out of London. So I think we need some sort of definitive help / guide. What time do I get into Paddington? I don't know. I'm going to be late anyway. Yeah, very late. I'm currently 14 minutes late.
Oh, yeah.
Sammy Lee, thanks very much for the follow. Welcome to Insanity. If you are new to the streams and you're here because of my video or the fact that I've got Train Sim World 5 in the title, welcome. I do stream Train Sim World every single Tuesday. Tomorrow night we got some Roblox in multiplayer. Thursday night we got some farming on our MP farm. Friday night we got some trucking in the ETS2s. Not here Saturday because off to a Discord meetup on the Isle of Wight doing some Train Sim World 4 for real. And then Sunday night some board games. Monday farming. Spawn onto tube platforms at Paddington at a similar time to when you get in and wait for a train going to Harrow and take it over. You are here for no reason. No, you're here because we love you, Trent. That's why you're here. Well, we're just going to tell him we do. Just to make him try and feel a bit better. That's all. Right. So yeah, we'll run through the details again of what comes with Train Sim World 5 when we get to the Paddingtons. And then we'll see if we can do a quick dash out. Locking doors. Doors are locking. Right, Hayes and Harlington in 2.3 miles. The thing is, I'm going to start the other end, Ethan, because the time I get this into Paddington, then we run through the stuff again, I'm not going to get time to go from Paddington to all the way out to Harrow. Because that's going to take too long. Right, so we've got Hayes and Harlington. I think it's the Piddingtons. Potentially. Probably in Broadway as well. What? That was random. Is Ethan talking to someone else? Oh, after Hayden. Okay. It's like a 20-minute delay between me saying what's next and you typing. He is a bit slow. There's probably a train late out of Leeds Station. He's got to keep an eye on it. Because, you know, trains. Reaching first, 7:30. What do I mean? It's 7:30. That's like supper time, not tea time. You've been off all day. Why are you eating at 7:30? Or do you mean about the trains thing? Yeah, can't tell when our trains are going to be late. Tree falls over on a branch line in Cumbria. Us getting it up to about 11 a.m. Then, you know, he's all over that. Right, we're now arriving at Hayes and Harlington. Was Train Sim Mod 5 announced today? Yes. Which is why we've been talking about it for the whole stream. Alright, Hayes and Harlington, Ealing's of the Broadways, and then into Paddington. Then we'll run through all the details of Train Sim Mod 5 again, before we then switch to the Bakerloo line, which is sort of incorporated into, may as well show you, that. So you'll see London Underground 1972 stock running when you come down into London, coming out of Milton Keynes. So that's going to be really, really interesting. Aidan, there's quite clearly something wrong with you on many levels. Yeah, we're only like 14 minutes late. It's fine. How am I? I've had better days. Mentally and physically drained, but I've been looking forward to tonight's stream. Locking doors. Right, yeah, Ealing Broadway, 5 miles. West Coast Main Line. I'll run through the routes quickly while we're pulling off. West Coast Main Line is coming, Euston to Milton Keynes. Los Angeles to San Bernardino is that one. And Frankfurt to Fulda is that one. We'll run through the details again when we get to Paddington. So I just thought I'd run up and down the Great Western Express, because eventually there's going to be an enhanced version of the Great Western Express. Which is going to be quite good, which we've been speculating on. As well as some point in the next 12 months, we're going to get Cardiff City Network. We're going to get West Coast Main Line, Preston to Carlisle. The Tadami line, which is already out on Train Sim Classic. And some other bits and pieces as well that we will run through when we get to the place with the bear. The bear place. That's what it's called. It's called the bear place. It will be on old gen consoles. I'm gutted actually, because I think that's the reason we're not getting longer routes, etc. So whether this will be the last version that will support old gen consoles, because it's been a few years now. It's been what, 4 years since we've had the next gen consoles. So, you know, there's only so long you can carry on supporting old hardware. And the console version of this is the biggest limiting factor. So yeah, it releases on the 17th of September. If you go for the deluxe version, that releases 5 days earlier, on the 12th of September. I will hopefully be able to bring you content on it on the 11th of September. Day before release, that's a normal thing for us. So then I'll be spending a few days. I'll do a day on each route. do the American route, do the German route, and do the British route. Then we'll try out some of the station hopping features, and obviously conductor mode, try and see what trains that's available on and what routes we can do that on. But I think there could be a fair bit of time going between Milton Keynes and London Euston. I don't know if I've ever been out of London Euston Station. I don't know if I've ever been to Euston Station. I can't remember. When Harry needed the charger. Oh, okay. Oh, that was that? Okay. So when Harry was being useless as always then. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be probably Train Sim World 5 streams. A bit like when Farm Sim 25 releases. That'll be a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There'll be 5 days of farming streams like there was when Farm Sim 22 released. Right, Ealing Broadway in a mile, then we come into London Paddington, so then we switch over to the Bakerloo line and do the bit that runs alongside. But when we do get to Paddington, I will run through all the information again for Train Sim World 5.
Speed-up.
So I'm going so slow. Right. Hopefully with the enhanced version of this, or improved, whatever it's called, version of this, we're going to see a lot more AI traffic on the Great Western Express. Express. Camera collisions is an Unreal thing. They're not switching to a new game engine. So camera collisions are still going to be a thing because that's Unreal. But it's the only Unreal game where it happens. Because there's so much going on, I think. That is the problem. Right, Ealing of the Broadways. Michael is not well currently, so is going to be returning hopefully to annoying us in a few weeks' time. You forget sometimes how good this looks, which is why I think when Train Sim World 5 comes out, I think I'm finally going to take the plunge and just remove Train Sim Classic, because I don't play it anymore. I've got no inkling to. I think if SCS ever do anything with ETS2 and give us virtual trucking companies, I think, to be honest, that'll be the end of OMSI for me. We've been having discussions today about our multiplayer farm, and trying to get a bit of enthusiasm back for that. So I think maybe shaking things up a little bit might be a good idea. Ethan was playing 2 Point Hospital at the weekend when he was here, so I do want to do a stream in that again. I had 2 Point Campus, but I think I had it on Epic or something. Or was it on Game Pass maybe? So I bought that in a sale for £5. So I want to do 2 Point Campus again. At some point soon there's going to be 2 Point University. No, 2 Point Museum. So we'll do that. I still want to do this going through my games alphabetically on like a Wednesday. So tomorrow we've got Roblox. Next Wednesday we're doing Ships at Sea. We've got Kebab Chefs we want to do. Maybe the week after we'll come back and do that. So there's lots of stuff we could do. So maybe we do a bit of that sort of stuff on a Thursday, and then I do some single player stuff on a Tuesday and Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and multiplayer. I don't know. We will see. Surgeon Sim, there isn't really anything else out. That's a good bit of fun. I think we're doing the board games thing this Sunday. I really like the idea of doing something like an IRL top-down or multi-camera. Now I can. Thing. I don't know why I started slowing down. You know, I'd love to build a Lego model and do that on a stream. Although I don't think a very exciting stream. I don't know. Just do it to something different. I still think there's scope in like even doing a random stream of me going through my Blu-ray collection and talking about films and TV shows and stuff that I've got, and having a discussion as people watched it and things like that. Build a train set. I keep looking at N-gauge layouts because I've got that little N-gauge pacer. Something to do over the winter, so I don't plan on going out much this winter. Winter is coming. Well, I have plenty to do with Train Sim World 5 and Farm Sim. So yeah, in the enhanced version or improved version, whatever you're calling it, of this, we should then see a lot more AI. Winter Secudale. My name's not Dale. Don't know what word Trent was trying to go for there. Ooh. Now there's an idea. Schedule. That's the one. Or schedule. A pacer trip in this for Christmas. That's got me thinking. We have had this discussion. Favourite season. I don't like summer. It's too hot. I quite like winter. I quite like coming home. It's dark. The heating's on. It's a bit nice and cosy. Not so much with the snow and the, you know, scraping the frost off the windscreen, but you know. We've had the discussion because we've got the, oh god, whose is it tomorrow? Ethan's tomorrow in the relief driver thing going out on YouTube. I do like the idea, and I'm not saying it's going to happen soon, of doing a stream, and we talked about this before, where at every station we switch drivers. So having like multiple people here, and you get to a station, you get out of the train, you give the controller to the next person, they get in, take over, drive it to the next station. I think that could be amusing. And I think certainly a line with a lot of stops, like the West Coast Main Line, I think that could be interesting. Because you could do it up and down a couple of times, switching trains as well. So that's something I'd like to do. So if I'm stupid enough to have the idiots back here again at some point, then that may be a thing. Anyway, we're now approaching Paddington. This is where the depot thing is going on. Old Oak Common, and it's around here somewhere. Yeah, Grace is really good. Right, so we're getting to Paddington. And then we will talk about the stuff that's coming in Train Sim World 5. Old Oak Common's further down. Well, it's around here somewhere. There's no need to be so harry about it. Right, braking. So yeah, in reality, this station will be full. Here, nothing. Like a couple of trains in. So hopefully on the enhanced version, we will see an improvement. All right, in we come. Then we'll do the run through again. And then we'll switch to the Bakery Loos. I do like the 166. There's something about it. I do like an old diesel. You don't get that with electrics. Obviously, because they're not diesel. That'll be the reason. We're running late. Why are you taking your time unloading the, the people's doing the on and off thing? Yes, Daniel, we know route hopping's a thing. We're going to talk about it all in a second. I know roughly how it works. I've seen some information on it. Right. There we go. Right. Let's get rid of that. Let's go back to the main menu. Right then. For those of you who weren't here earlier, where were you? We've been here for an hour and 50 minutes. Let's run through this again then. That one. Right. So, Train Sim World 5 releases on September the 17th. You can upgrade for free if you claim by October the 17th. Doesn't include any routes and includes some of the core features. But you can do a free upgrade to Train Sim World 5. What I would say is, even if you're not looking to get any of the versions of it, do the upgrade. It's a no-brainer. It's free. You may as well do it. As long as you claim by October the 17th. What you get as core features, Live Map 2.0 or 2.0, which is more user-friendly. Conductor mode, which is going to be interesting. Check tickets, remove baggage from the gangways, and experience Train Sim World in an all-new way. Fast travel within a route. Route hopping. This is the one that's got me really excited. More excited than an excitable person that's excited. Seamless movement between routes with connected stations. So, think London to Brighton and East Coast Way. The connecting station is Brighton. There is a small loading screen. I've seen some of it in action. So you arrive, say, into Brighton, you go to a marker on the platform, click on it, little pop-up window appears, you select which line you want to switch to, short loading screen, and you're in. So you don't have to go back to the main menu, go through all the faff of changing things, and then you stay on the same platform, and then the trains on the other line appear, and then you get one of those and off you go. So it loads in the other line, basically. So that's going to be really exciting, because there are quite a lot of routes that have got connected stations. A lot in Germany. The American one's going to be quite good as well. So photo mode is improved, digital displays are improved, track shadow rendering's improved, training center features more trains. I've never understood why the training center can't include all the trains you own. How hard can that be? Anyway, so the starter pack you get to upgrade for free and get the latest version of Train Sim World. No routes and limited access to core features, redeemable for up to 30 days after launch, free to keep forever. So you may as well do the upgrade. The versions you can buy then, standard edition for $39.99, other currencies are available. You get the training centre, San Bernardino, West Coast Main Line, Frankfurt to Fulda. That's a clue as to what the lines are. The deluxe edition is training centre, San Bernardino line, West Coast Main Line, Frankfurt to Fulda, the Pendolino, the Vectron and Cajun Pass. The special edition. I'd only recommend buying this if you've never owned any Train Sim World game before, or you own Train Sim World and you don't have the extra routes. So you get a training centre, San Bernardino, West Coast Main Line, Frankfurt Fulda, the Pendolino, the Vectron, Cajun Pass, Kassel to Wurzburg, the Bakerloo line, New York to Trenton, the Suffragette line, and Bremen to Oldenburg. So if you don't own Kassel Wurzburg, London Underground, New York to Trenton, the Suffragette line, or Bremen Wurzburg, Glendenberg, Oldenburg, that's the one, and you also want to get Train Sim World 5 and you can afford it, get that version. The routes then, Los Angeles, San Bernardino, 57 miles, 16 train stations. If you've got a deluxe edition, you get the BNSF freight layers from the Cajun Pass included in that. That actually could be quite a good American route. Frankfurt to Fulda is 64 miles, 24 train stations. So high speed stuff with the ice, some lower speed stuff that isn't icy. Deluxe version, deluxe people get the Vectron, which is that. Looks rather nice. So the Flix train, which is actually a thing. So passenger runs in the Vectron. I'm actually looking for, I didn't like the Vectron, but I will be giving that a go. The British line then is Euston to Milton Keynes, which comes with the 350, and you get the 377, and you get the route from Euston to Milton Keynes. You get the Lioness line, which is the start bit of it, and deluxe players get the Pendolino, and if you've got the 710, you also get 710 added in as well, which comes out of Euston and goes somewhere. So there's going to be a lot of trains running up and down that line. What happens if you already own the routes that come with the DLC? You won't with Train Sim World 5. If you bought the deluxe version and you own the routes, there's no point. You may as well just, you bought the special edition, there's no point. You may as well just buy the deluxe version. So that's that. So that's the 390 that comes with Vectron's electric. That's the 390 that comes with a deluxe edition that will run on the West Coast. And then the roadmap for what's coming. Obviously, the stuff on the left there is what we get. Soon is coming the MBTA commuter. And then further down the line, so over 3 months, so next year, we've got West Coast Main Line Preston to Carlisle, Cardiff City Network, the German one, I can't read that, Tadami Line, new route Malin Thompson, the 104 and Peak Forest expansion, another new loco, the 5 Circle 11 branch, East Coast Main Line diesel pack, Santa Fe contemporary pack, and the one we've been talking about is the Great Western Express remaster. That's going to be interesting. So there we go. So early access and discounts. Deluxe and special editions provide 5 days early access on September the 12th. Train Sim World 5 Standard Edition will be available on Game Pass from release. You get a pre-order discount currently, which is available on Steam now. You can pre-order. You've got Cajun Pass. Yeah, then you won't get it again, basically. So have I, but you won't get it again. Yeah, so future Train Sim World 5 content is MBTA commuter, Boston to Framingham, West Coast Mainline, Preston to Carlisle, the Growing Engine 1, Cardiff City, Mannheim to Kaiserslautern, and the Great Western Express remastered, which is free if you've already got Great Western Express. There we go. So yes, it is going to be rather good. Right, quickly then, we're going to jump into the Bakerloo, and we will start at Harrow and Wealdstone to Elephant and Castle. There we go. So this is the bit that runs alongside the West Coast Main Line. So if you didn't have the Bakerloo line, you'll still see the 1972 stock running, which is going to be rather good. There we go. Go that into that. Right. So yeah, so hang on, are we alongside it here? Yeah, so that's on our left, I'm guessing, is the West Coast Main Line. So on our left. We're heading into London, aren't we? So I think so. Have I got to turn my interlock? There we go. Alright, we've got to wait for the light to change now. So yeah, in this there's nothing running. The line on the right and right next to you is so that one and that one is London Overground. So that's going to be part of this as well. So you'll be able to have trains running on this, on the West Coast Main Line and the London Overground. That's going to be the exciting bit. I think this is going to make this a really interesting route because there's going to be so much AI. I really can't wait. Apart from now at this red where we've got to wait, you know. Oh, I bet it's that, isn't it? I've got a bloody window open, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, so there'll be a lot of trains running alongside us down here. So the fact you'll be running along here on West Coast Mainline stuff, and you'll see this 1972 stock on the underground. I had a fact the other day, or saw a fact the other day. Only 45% of the London Underground network is actually underground. There you go. There's some information for you. So yeah, so those lines over there is where we'll see West Coast Main Line stuff running. But because they haven't got any licensing for this, we won't see anything running up there. Well, I think maybe something freight, potentially, but other than that, you don't really see anything. No, it was on a video I watched at the weekend. The London Tube driver, who said that fact. Right, Kenton is next then. Yes, that one. Yeah, so over there, those lines to our very left is where we'll see the West Coast Main Line running. So when you're on that, you'll see these underground trains running in and out of these stations. I think this line could end up being busier than London to Brighton, because you get all of that. So you'll get 350s running, 377s, cargo stuff, London Underground stuff, and 710s if you've got them, all running up, and the 390s if you've got the deluxe, all running up and down here. That's going to be a lot of stuff. I was doing Great Western Express, but we switched to this just to show off this bit of the West Coast Main Line. We'll run down here as far as the tunnel, then we'll end. I don't know whether we will see another underground line. What I'd like to see is the Elizabeth line. It's too long though to do in one hit. So again, you know, using their linking stations thing, could they do the Elizabeth line from Paddington going out east? Because if they're starting to do stuff with connected stations, I'd be no good as a tube driver, would I? Well, we're getting West Coast Main Line, London to Milton Keynes, and then eventually West Coast Main Line, Preston to Carlisle. Although that's going to be set in the 1990s, or before 1990. Right, South Kenton. I'm looking forward to this Saturday. I'm going to be on ex-London Underground trains, slightly modernised now, on the Isle of Wight. Going to be doing the whole run there and back again, which I know is only half an hour each way. But yeah, looking forward to that. So expect to see some pictures of Isle of Wight trains in the Discord on Saturday. And for the first time ever, going on the hovercraft from Southsea. All the years I've been going down to Southsea and seeing the hovercraft. The first YouTube video on my YouTube channel is the hovercraft at Southsea. But I've never actually been on it. So looking forward to that one. Right, we're in that. So yeah, when we do get West Coast Main Line, you know, there's double yellows there, there's a red there. So there's stuff technically running. And I nearly booked my trip to Guernsey today. But the date I wanted to do it, it meant leaving Paul at like 6:45 in the morning. And that'd mean getting to Paul at 5:45 in the morning, which meant leaving the house at 4 a.m. That's an early start. Because it leaves earlier on a Saturday. So it must be a weekday. So yeah, well, next time we do this, in about a month's time, we will be on the West Coast Main Line and see these trains come in the other way. That's going to be so good. Harry better get a move on and get liveries done for the 350. Right, North Wembley is next. We'll take this as far as we go underground. So you can see now why they've added this in. So if you don't own the Bakerloo line, you will still see 1972 stock running up and down. So which one of these stations will trains stop at on the West Coast Main Line then? So technically, where could we get out and switch to the underground? Harrow and Wheelsden, and a few stops at Wembley. What, this one? Well, no, because the West Coast Main Line doesn't go to Paddington. Yeah, so the route will go, there we go, London Euston to Milton Keynes. Well, they can't stop here, can they? Because there's no platforms. So they're not going to stop on these platforms, are they? Or Wembley Central. Well, you didn't say that. You just said Wembley. So the next one then. So hopefully with this route hopping thing, you could bring a train from Milton Keynes down here, stop at Wembley Central, and then jump on the underground. I'm hoping then take this to Paddington, switch to Great Western Express, and then go out to Reading. That'd be an interesting stream. Be quite an interesting thing as a passenger. If you just wanted to chill out for a couple of hours, just be a passenger and go from Milton Keynes to Reading. Or one of the American ones we worked out, because of the connections, is going to be about 4.5 hours doing the route hopping, doing the Antelope Valley, the San Bernardino to Los Angeles, and the other one. And there's a couple in New York as well that go in and out of Penn. So you could do the same thing in and out of New York. And a few in Germany. So for me, that's the really interesting feature of this, is the route hopping. We've been saying it for a while, haven't we? So yeah, so here's the bit that we could get off here, go up through a gate line, and then onto the West Coast Main Line. over there. There's a Tadami line coming at some point down the line. Right, Stonebridge Park. Is this where we divert away from the West Coast Main Line then? Yeah, so there's the West Coast Main Line over there. Yes, some of the trains do stop at Wembley. See, that's almost one of those tricks you could do if you're coming into London for the day. What's the furthest point north where your Oyster card will work that you could get off a mainline train coming from north, get off, and then use your Oyster card? Would that be cheaper than getting a train all the way into Euston? Oh yeah, we went down and back up again. Yes, the Suffragette line is in as part of it. And was it Suffragette line? Which one is it? Hang on, the Lioness line is included. Passengers getting on. And locking doors. Right, Harlesden. So there's the line over there now on our right. Yeah, so if you did your ticketing right, you probably could get to London quite cheap. What I want to do one day is get the train from here to Reading and then jump on the Purple Line. I've yet to do that and get the Purple Line all the way in. Well, I've only got 2 more days in London this year. The Acton Depot Day in, what, a month's time? And then going in for the annual pre-Christmas madness. Carriages over there. I will be here Christmas Day, as always. I've had no better offers, so I'll be here Christmas Day. Let's end up winning the lottery and ended up in the Bahamas or something. Right, we'll go one more stop and then we will end. If I had to buy a place in London, that's where it would be. Willesden Junction is where we will end our madness. Queen's Park's only 3 stops. Oh well. Definitely never been all this way up on this line. We'll have to do that. Maybe one for next year. I've forgotten how good this route is though. It's a lot more interesting doing the overground bit of this route than the underground bit of this route. So what's that line there on the left then? Is that the overground line? That's a freight line. Oh, okay. I can hear something freighty. We got a line up here. What's this? Willesden Junction. Ooh, that's interesting. That's a North London line. Oh, there you go. Well, there's the thing. Well, there we go. Done. So there we go. Quick little talk about, or quick, 2.5 hours, talking about Train Sim World 5. We will discuss it, and obviously in future streams coming up, which is why I've left the 3 routes. That one, and that one. So I can bring them up on any Train Sim World stream, because I'm sure there'll be discussions over the next month. And really looking forward to being able to fiddle around with it and bring you some content on it. Starting in, 3 and a bit weeks' time? It won't be long. Don't forget, pre-orders are available now on Steam. You can get it at a slight discount, and if you do get the deluxe version, you get it 5 days early. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. Expect to see a lot of Milton Keynes, which no one ever wants in their life. There we go. So thanks to you lot in chat for keeping me company for the last 2 hours and 20 minutes. Next stream back tomorrow night, doing more trains in multiplayer though, with some Roblox, doing British Railways, I think. Thursday night we got some farming, back on the farm, doing the farming type thing. Friday night some ETS2 carrying on in the F-Max up in Scandinavia. Not here on Saturday because I'm on the Isle of Wight, but we'll be here Sunday night with some IRL board games. Trent as Mr. X playing Scotland Yard. Maybe some Monopoly. We'll see how time goes. That's Sunday night, and then I'll be here from lunchtime on Bank Holiday Monday for a bit of a Monday afternoon farming stream for a few hours, and then back next week with stuff all the way through to the following weekend. So loads of stuff to come from me. No days off now for about 2 and a bit weeks, apart from this Saturday. Ignore that. So there we go. Thanks to you lot in chat for keeping me company, and to these people as well. Thanks to Sammy for following, to Amy Lou for resubscribing, and the moderation team did some things. So thanks. There we go. I will be back tomorrow night to do some more trains in the Roblox type thing. Until then, oh, don't forget there's information on Train Sim World 5 in the Discord server in the Train Sim World section. I've got some more information answering questions. I'll see if I can post that in the Discord later on. So keep your eye out in the Discord server for that. There we go. I will be back with some idiots tomorrow night to do trains. Until then, if you have been, thanks very much for watching.